Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if we haven't met before. Then I am Kat. I make videos on various lifestyle things. I'm an English person who's just moved to Perth, Australia, so I make quite a few videos on that and my experience of being a newbie here and the moving process and things like that, and just general sort of lifestyle content. So please like and subscribe if you want to see more of that sort of video. Today I thought I would bring you a video on my sort of meal planning, how I plan my evening meals through the week and how that feeds into planning my grocery shop, and basically organising and streamlining the process as much as possible so that I can eat as healthily and nicely as possible whilst managing a full-time job and getting home and not having any energy to cook and plan meals, more importantly. So I'll preface this with, this is not an ad, but I will be talking a lot about this app which I've discovered that helps me with this hugely. I had actually had this idea to create this app and then actually search for it. It already exists and I realised I'm not an app developer. The app is called Weekly Chefs and I have it on my iPad and on my phone, and they sync up, and I found it a really good way to sort of organise myself, plan nice, tasty, healthy, exciting meals for the week. And it kind of takes out that element of, what am I going to cook tonight? Sorting through the cupboards, trying to find things. And also just, streamlines the weekly shop, means that there's much less food being thrown out at the end of the week after I've had the good intentions of buying and eating vegetables and then not eating them, and then they go off. So I'll do a little screen record here to show you how I actually plan my meals for the week, how I store all the recipes and things like that, because I feel like I've got it down to quite a, I was going to say a fine art, it's meal prepping, it's not really an art, but here we go. So as I say, the app which we use is Weekly Chef, so I'll just bring that up here so you can see one of my weeks here. So we will add a new week. As you can see, I've got a new week here. It splits it into the days of the week. You've got dinners and you've got a lunches tab. I only ever use the dinners tab if we make enough extra for the next day for lunch. Then I will take some into work for lunch. But if not, I usually just buy soup or buy something whilst I'm out. So I'll tap on day one, and then if I head to view suggestions at the bottom, this is where it's stored a lot of my, so I've been using this, you can see I'm on week 18, so I've been using it for 18 weeks. And so that's got basically all of the meals that I've eaten for the past 18 weeks. So I will either search through there, or I also, if I click on add photo, choose from library, and then head to albums and my shared album, I've got a recipes album. So I share this album with my boyfriend. He does not add anything to it or look at it, but it does mean that if I'm getting home late from work or the gym or whatever, I can just send him a quick text, say, can you start making dinner? The recipe is in the recipes folder, and then he can grab that on his phone and start cooking for me, which is pretty good. So in here I've got various recipes that I've either screenshotted from, I've got a couple of magazine subscriptions to like food magazines, so I'll flick through those, screenshot any that I think look nice, and then if I'm a bit lost for inspiration for what to eat through the week, then that could be quite a good go-to. And some of my favourite recipes now have come from those magazines. Just side note, again, not an ad, but I use Readly for that, which is an app which I have on my iPad. Or what I have done, which is a little bit naughty, is taken photos of recipe books. So for example, Jamie Oliver came out with a new book which was his 7 Ways book, and I was umming and ahhing about buying it because I do really like his recipe books. However, I found that actually I flicked through it and we eat vegetarian like 90% of the time, because Jake's a veggie and I therefore eat vegetarian most of the time because it's a lot easier for cooking and prepping and things. So I found that actually the recipe book, there was only a few pages of vegetarian recipes, the rest I wouldn't use. So I stood there in the supermarket and took photos of each of the recipes that I thought I would make, and I use them really regularly. So that might be a tip if you don't want to shell out for recipe books. So let's have a think about what I want to eat this week. So quite often I do it a little bit like, I sort of think more about the sort of cuisine that I want to have. So we'll often think like, oh, we want to have Indian tonight, we want to have something Italian, we want to have something like Chinese, and sort of work through it that way. I find it a lot easier to narrow down what sort of thing I fancy if I sort of cluster it into the different sort of cuisines. So this week I know we definitely wanted Italian, we wanted a pasta dish. and we are big into aubergines or eggplants here. So I think we'll go for this aubergine and ricotta pasta, which we've had before. It's absolutely delicious. I think I've already got that in my suggestions actually, so I will just have a quick scroll down. There we go, so it's actually already in there and that will already have that picture on. Hit save, that's day one. View suggestions this time, I'll have a look at that. So I think I also fancy a curry. I know that this curry obviously has aubergine in as well. I'll just show you a picture of that. So that's from HelloFresh and that automatically links to the webpage. I know that this is a lot of aubergine, but we will have it a few days apart. I don't plan it to say sort of Monday I'm having this meal, Tuesday I'm having this meal. I just find usually sort of 5 or 6 recipes that I know that I want to make that week. I'll leave 1 or 2 days clear in case we want to get a takeaway or go out for dinner, or we want to have leftovers. I'll just leave that a little bit more loose so that we don't end up wasting food. And then it means that on the day I can refer to this list. It's already narrowed down of the sort of 5 meals that I can have that night, and I'll choose from that. So it still feels like I've got like the choice and the freedom, and I'm not restricted to like burgers that night if I'm not in the mood for burgers, but there's still that forward thinking. So yeah, I'll have these aubergine dishes 2 or so days apart. Okay, day 3. So I'll just quickly fire in a couple more of things that I know that I fancy. So I definitely want this one because that's delicious. This one I'm not actually adding a recipe for because we've been trying to trial various different recipes to find the perfect one, and we're still on the hunt. If you've got a good Dan recipe, please do let us know. We are really struggling with it. So another thing that I do if I'm really struggling or really craving a specific thing is I will quite often search for that ingredient on the Jamie Oliver website, or I will search for sort of Sunday lunch recipes. I find Jamie Oliver's recipes really good. I really like his cooking. So we also eat game probably once a week or once a fortnight. We generally go for kangaroo. Kangaroos have to be culled, a certain number have to be culled every year anyway to avoid overpopulation and overgrazing. So Jake doesn't mind eating kangaroo on the odd occasion. So if obviously there's not many kangaroo recipes out there, but there are, it's quite similar to venison. So we generally try to search, I'll search for venison to try to find good roux recipes. So I found this one, which is wild mushroom and venison stroganoff. So what I'll do here is copy this link. So I'll head into this app, tap into the new day, and it will pre-fill with the link. So I'll just hit OK, and then that's in there for me. And obviously I would hit view recipes website to get that open on the day. I think we fancy, because it's wintry at the moment, so I think we fancy a Sunday roast. So there we go, veggie roast, I've just got that in at the bottom, and I'll work out on the day what I'm able to get because it depends. We'll get a Linda Mccartney. They used to do the Linda Mccartney like veggie roast, almost like a meatloaf type thing. They did that in the UK. I've not found it yet here, but we'll see. We might have the Linda Mccartney country pies or something instead. And then I'll leave day 7 blank for a sort of meal out or a takeaway or something. However, because I know that we will want a nice dessert after our Sunday roast, I'm going to find a nice recipe for that and whack in the dessert recipe in there. Okay, once again, good old Jamie with his good old bread and butter pudding with marmalade glaze and cinnamon and orange butter. That looks absolutely incredible. So definitely gonna grab that link and pop it in under day 7 there, and that will be our dessert. So that looks like a really good varied menu for the week. I'm actually really excited for all of this. I'll try my best to remember to take photos and videos when I've finished cooking each of these meals just before I tuck in, so that you can see how that goes. And I'll also, if it's a photo, I'll pop it up on screen so that you can pause it and screen grab it if you want to use that recipe. And if it's a link, I'll obviously put it down in the description box below. So I'll see you throughout the week. Bye! Happy Sunday! We've got a bit of a variation of a Sunday roast day. It's been absolutely miserable weather. So we've got some sort of, I mean, it doesn't look like a Sunday roast at all, but it's a very Sunday meal. So we have the Linda Mccartney country style pies. We've got some sweet potato mash, some potato dauphinoise or potato gratin, which is sage and parmesan. I will admit that I bought a like ready-made Coles version and then added my own sage and parmesan to it, and then some 10% broccoli. And we have the weirdest colour. I had to make some homemade gravy because I realised that we didn't have any like Bisto granules or anything. And it's turned out a really weird colour, but it tastes like normal gravy, so we're rolling with it. And we have a nice glass of Margaret River Sauvignon Blanc, so we're going to tuck in. Cheers! Oh boy, there's nothing better than dessert after a Sunday roast. Here is a bread and butter pudding. It is a orange and ginger bread and butter pudding. Should have been orange and cinnamon, but I substituted the cinnamon for fresh ginger because we didn't have any cinnamon. So excited to tuck into this and then probably pass out on the sofa. Look at all of that beautiful custard. Beautiful. Happy Monday, guys! Today we have I think it's called, I should have checked this beforehand, 1 second. Here it is. So we have crispy ginger and chili veggie pork fried rice. That's the expectation. That's the reality. Not quite as perfect, but it's still delicious. It is one of those meals that tastes so much better than it looks. I'm excited. Hey, Pappy, what's cooking? What are you making?
I'm making pasta and a garlic flatbread.
Yeah, it looks hella good.
I don't know where it's going to go, but we'll see.
I mean, it's garlic on flatbread. It can't go that badly.
This time. Well, it was really crispy last time, but this time...
It's fine. It was still delicious. I'm excited. I'm starving. Here's the expectation. I'll let you pause it to copy the recipe if you want. And here's the reality. It will taste delicious. And we've also got the like garlic flatbread thing, which is basically, is that just butter, parsley and garlic?
It's actually olive oil, parsley and...
I'm excited, tucking in. Evening, it is now Thursday. We went out for, went over to our friend's house actually yesterday for a takeaway. We had Gosmini Gomez Mexican burrito-y things. I thought I would quickly come on here to sort of show you why I've not been showing you my face through the week, because this is what I look like every night of the week usually, or I'm in gym kit. Tonight we've got Dan Dan noodles. I made this recipe like a year ago and made, would you agree that I made the perfect Dan Dan noodles?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. We've been testing out various different recipes since this is the closest we've got. This one's really, really good. But yeah, it's corned beef. Got some spring onions in there and some pak choi noodles and this saucy thing that he made into a broth, I think.
Kind of. I've just put some extra beef stock onto it.
Yeah. And I'm going to tuck in because I'm hungry. Bye! Hello, it's Saturday night. I've just cooked a really nice dinner. We have, I mean, it doesn't look as good. I'm mortified by the peas on the side. But it is a mushroom and kangaroo stroganoff with rice and peas because I forgot about vegetables. And I'm just awaiting my date, who is very well dressed for the occasion.
It happens to be my brother's wedding.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, obviously we're absolutely gutted we can't be there. Can you not?
Sorry.
So noisy. Yeah, obviously we are gutted we can't make it because they are getting married in England and we are in Australia, so we can't make it. However, we are waiting for the call, so got a slightly nice blouse on and Jake is dressed to the nines, ready for a FaceTime. So we are going to tuck in. Bon appetit. You can grind again. So thanks for joining me on that, guys. I really hope that was a video that you enjoyed. Let me know if this is the sort of video that you enjoyed to watch and I will happily make that again. Obviously I'm doing this anyway, so happy to take you along for the ride. If you have any specific requests of the sorts of things that you'd like me to cover in these videos, let me know and I'll happily oblige. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!